Hi everyone, my name is Hannah. Today we're going to talk about peg words. They're a little bit more tricky when you first start out, but once we get used to them, students tell me that they're one of the best techniques because they stay in their brain for a really long time, especially with spaced repetition. So when you're doing peg words, I want you to start out by finding a list of information, hopefully about 5 or even longer to 10 from your list from your other class. So if you have science and you have lots of long words, go ahead and choose the primary syllable to use for your lists, or if it's history, any of your other classes, just go ahead and write down those key words. So peg words today, we have them here. 1, bun, 2, shoe, 3, tree, 4, door, 5, hive, 6, sticks, 7, heaven, 8, gate, 9, line, and 10, hen. When I first read this list, I thought I was not going to be able to remember that, let alone the list of the other information. But believe me, once you do this a couple of times, it'll stick in your brain and you won't even need to look at it. Also, if you decide, you can use your own peg words. You don't have to use this list, but this one works really well because it's short and they rhyme. So with our peg words, we really want to make it as humorous as possible, as meaningful as possible, and as personal as possible, so it will stick in our brains. Today, I'm going to show you a funny example with a grocery list because we all have grocery lists. I know that mine's pretty long right now in my refrigerator. So 1, bun. So let's think. What are some things that we need to get from the store? I need to get cereal. We are always out of cereal at my place. Cereal. 2, what else do I need to get? I need eggs. Tree. I need milk. I also need onions. And that'll get us a good start for now. So 1 and bun. And I'm sure you're thinking, I don't know how we're going to make those two things connect. Bun and cereal don't go together. But the goal is to make it funny, right? So I want you to think in your mind, how can I connect bun, the peg word, to cereal, the thing that we need to remember? So in your mind, think, how can I connect those two? So maybe we can think of a woman from the 60s and her hair is huge and she has this big bun. And I don't know if you know this, but people in the 60s used to stuff their buns full of stuff. So maybe she stuffed it with cereal to make it really big. And I want you to engage all of those senses. So maybe you walk up next to her and she smells like Cheerios or Cinnamon Crunch. And maybe you can hear the sound of the cereal in her hair, and maybe it's sticky. So 1 bun, and we need to get cereal. So the next one is 2, shoe. How can we connect shoes with eggs? Okay, so let's think. How can we make this funny? How can we make this maybe meaningful to us? So I don't know about you, but sometimes when I think of eggs, I think of walking around on eggshells. You know, when you meet someone, maybe it's Monday morning, maybe they haven't had their coffee yet, so they're a little cranky. So maybe you walk around really carefully around them because maybe you need to be nicer to them. You need to walk around like you're walking on eggshells. So let's connect shoe with eggs. And maybe you're thinking, that doesn't work for me. I'm never going to remember that. That is totally fine. Make it personal for you. What works for my memory may not work for your memory. Maybe you want to imagine the new latest Nike shoes look like eggs. That's totally great. Just make sure that you make it meaningful to you. So cereal, how can we remember cereal? Oh yeah, it's the woman, her hair's really big, she has a bun, there's cereal coming out of it. Oh, but wait, I can't remember that one anymore. That's fine, try a different one. Maybe you bite into a bread bun and out pours all of this different types of cereal. That works great too. So cereal and then eggs. What with eggs? Oh yeah, we're walking on eggshells so we don't make people mad. Monday mornings, it's not a good time. 3 is tree, and we have milk. How can we remember tree and milk? I did this with one of my students this semester, and they made the association of milk just coming out of the tree and it was going everywhere. If that works for you, that's wonderful. So remember to engage your senses. Maybe you can feel the water from the milk. Maybe you can hear the sound rushing forth like a waterfall. That's great. If that doesn't work for you, maybe you are watering your tree outside, but instead of using water, you're using milk to make your tree grow. That's perfect. Not a problem. 4 is door. And you might think, how am I going to remember door and onions? Those don't really go together. Use what works for you. Maybe you reach for the door and on the doorknob there's an onion. Maybe when you open the door, a whole pile of onions come down on you. That works. That's perfect. Whatever makes you remember that 4 and door equals onions. So cereal, remember we have bun, so the Monterey cereal. 2 shoe, we have eggs. We're walking out on eggshells. 3 is tree. What was that one again? Oh yeah, milk. We have milk shooting out of all of our branches. 4, door. What did we have for that? Oh yeah, a pile of onions that came crashing down on us, right? So I want you to use this list with your co-requisite course. So if we have anatomy, let's say, and we have something like prefrontal cortex, and we're trying to connect that with bun, that's a lot on your cognitive load, right? But if we can just associate bun, and we can maybe use the word front, which will then connect it to prefrontal cortex, that is perfect. So think in your mind, how can I connect bun to front? Maybe a woman has a hair bun and she wears it on the front of her face. You know, whatever works for you, that is absolutely wonderful. Use it for your class. Use it for lists of information that you think, oh, I can't seem to remember this. Don't use it for lists that are easy for you, that you already remember. Try to find ways that are difficult and make it applicable to you. Make it meaningful, make it personal, and try to make it funny. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will gladly get to you with all of it. Email me, call me, whatever you need to do. I'll talk to you soon.